Good day of practice, second scrimmage, really our last scrimmage going into game one here. I thought our guys had great energy, a really good approach. We did not do as good a job taking care of the ball today. Offense moved the ball really well early and really kind of throughout the scrimmage, but we had a lot of self-inflicted wounds, some takeaways. Defense did a really good job of attacking the ball. That being said, we get down to the red area, offense scores really quick twice, both units. In the red area, so got to do a better job with red area defense. And overall, again, pleased with the day. A lot of things still to correct, but we got a lot of guys that love football, and that's fun to see.
That more interceptions or fumbles now?
We had 4 picks today. We had several balls on the ground. In general, just ball in jeopardy situations that we got to do a better job of.
Is that just the defense being opportunistic and making plays, or sloppy on the offense?
It's a combination of both. It's a combination of both. Not catching it clean turns into a tip ball, turns into an interception. Some poor decision making. Some, taking advantage of an opportune moment and doing a good job attacking the ball. So I think it's a combination. We got to do a better job taking care of it. For sure.
When those are all factors that obviously go into making a decision on quarterback and who the starter is going to be, how does this impact the timeline? Do you feel like you're a couple of days away from making that decision, or does this change that decision?
I don't think I'm telling you guys.
Can you identify any of the players that had touchdowns today?
What I'll do is I'll identify some young guys I think that kind of stood out. Kyler Casper had a good day. It was fun to see him catch a couple deep balls. Jordan James ran the ball really, really hard on offense. It was good to see a young guy do that. Kamari Terrell had a nice big hit on defense, but there was a lot of guys that flew around and had some success today. It'd be hard to pick out just one.
How happy were you with the overall physicality on both sides today?
I thought our guys were really physical today, and that to me was really pleasing. It was to the point where you want to get live tackling and live scrimmage work in, and halfway through I said to myself, okay, do we need to go thud mode here, because we're striking each other, we're getting after it, and I thought that was something I was really pleased with, was the physicality of play.
Coach Dillingham said he wanted to see more growth from the young guys from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2. What did you see from that?
The biggest thing is I think you see young guys line up and execute the system, and there was a lot less thinking out there. There was a lot more playing, which is what you want.
What situations did you guys? Go ahead. What situations did you guys prioritize in your competition periods?
We worked a lot of different scenarios today, and just moved the ball periods, some 3rd down, 4th down scenarios, red area. We had a few different coming out series, so we tried to hit a lot of different sequences.
Kenny mentioned that he wanted to have his offense go a little more up-tempo in the scrimmage. Did you see that compared to scrimmage 1?
I did, yeah. I thought they did a good job of that, and at times they slowed themselves down, but there was definitely some good pace of plays for our guys on offense today.
You guys have talked a lot about 1% better every single day. Do you feel like walking off, you got 1% better?
We got better today. Absolutely, we got better today. There's a lot to clean up, but today was a good day of practice.
After last scrimmage, you said that some of the substitution patterns and more logistical things you guys wanted to improve on. Did you see that today?
Yeah, we had one time we came out on offense and we had 10 guys. There was a couple times that they caught us on defense with 12 on the field during subs, but overall the operation was pretty clean. Certainly still some to clean up.
After 2 scrimmages, how confident are you in your defensive line depth right now and the ability to rotate guys in and out during the course of a game?
Yeah, we have enough good players up front, I think, to be able to play good ball.
Kenny was giving Troy Franklin quite a bit of praise for being one of the consistent receivers. Dan, just seen either today or over the course of the last couple of weeks in particular from him.
Yeah, he made a nice fade ball catch on the sideline and got his toe tap in for a nice catch today. I think he's been consistent. Overall, I certainly think there's still plenty of room for improvement there for Troy, but he's shown up in the last few weeks for sure.
What's the next week for you? Is it still fall camp? Is it a little bit of game prep? Is it both? What is it?
We're going to keep focusing on us right now. It does change the mode of play. We're going to adjust our days a little bit, but the focus is still certainly on us. We haven't transitioned to game 1 yet. We'll get at some point where we start to introduce first opponent, but we're not to that point yet.
Does the rep distribution start to get more ones with ones and to get a little bit more settled as you start to shift into game preparation?
A little bit, maybe. I'm still looking. There's somebody that right now everyone might feel like is buried in our depth that's going to be playing for us at the end of the season. That's just the way it works every year. So for us, it's how many guys on the roster can we get better, and we want to get as many reps in as possible there.
One of those spots in particular is just the number 3 outside corner. We know obviously about Gonzo and Dante, and Quez has played there before, but from the young guys, from Avante, from Darren, who's kind of has somebody taking advantage of being the number 3 outside guy?
Well, we've gotten a lot of reps. I don't know that anybody's taken that spot yet or shown up for those spots yet. We've gotten a lot of guys. We obviously had some really good production today from a couple of those guys in the secondary. on interceptions, but I think that's still up for the verdict. It's still out.
After 2 scrimmages in a spring game, how would you assess yourself as a head coach? Where do you think you've gotten a lot better? Where can you still continue to grow?
I mismanaged, end of game situation here today where we could have got a clock play in that I want to get better. The clock was running and we probably hurried to get a field goal. I would have gone back and done that differently. I think there's still some stuff that I want to keep coaching myself on, and you only do that by creating those moments in practice. The thing that I think is going to help me be successful is I have really good coaches around me, and I can lean on those guys for moments of growth.
Braden Swinson said that he's been seeing the defense just click a little bit more, learn the playbook a little bit more. Have you been seeing that, especially here today?
Yeah, I think, today was, we didn't have any new install. There's no new plays that got put in today. This is what do we know, what can we run, how well can we run it, and I think you saw that show up. For the most part, there weren't a lot of mental errors, a lot of mistakes lining up, which is what you want.
Coach Gillingham said he wants to challenge himself as a coordinator, he wants to call some uncomfortable plays, since it is a scrimmage. Do you feel like any of those mishaps you said the offense was were a result of uncomfortable plays, or do you just feel like it was just because of the play that it was?
For me, I think most of the decisions that ended up being bad decisions today were somebody trying to make something out of nothing, and trying to create a play when they didn't need to. A bad play turned into a worse play, and that's something we have to do a better job of.
A couple of offensive and defensive linemen who've just been out for a week plus. Dan with JPJ, Kavika, Sawaba, Pody, Jaden Abbott. They'd be able to give it a go this week? Or?
Yeah, I'm not talking about injuries on those guys, but we feel good. We're getting a lot of our guys back.
How did the specialists talk to you? Had a couple of field goal opportunities. How did they perform?
We missed more than I anticipated today. We put some pressure on them in some unique situations. We tried to create a lot more today. We hit the ones we were supposed to hit, the easy ones, but some of the more difficult ones I thought we could have nailed, we didn't. So that's something I want to keep creating throughout the next week.
With some of those injuries on the offensive line, it's an opportunity for maybe someone else to get more reps. Younger guys in particular, Dawson or Connerly. Just your thoughts on just maybe.
Yeah, anytime we have guys dinged, I think it's an opportunity for somebody else to take advantage of.
Is there a pecking order just yet at the running back position, Dan? I mean, you could be confident in all 4 top guys in particular, and Jordan for that matter, but a young guy who just wasn't here in the spring. But for the 4 guys who played before, has one established themselves or 2 established themselves separate from the pack at all?
I think we have some that have really good experience, that have done a good job. But again, like I've said before, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And to have more than one to lean on is really a positive. I'd say, like I said, Jordan today showed me some stuff I hadn't seen from him yet in fall camp. And that was a really pleasant surprise. Ball security exists in that room too. We got to take care of the ball if you want to play back, and we got to do a better job of that. So,
did one side of the line of scrimmage kind of win the day today?
I would have told you the offensive line was really moving the down the field, especially running the ball. But again, we didn't get to cap off some of those drives because of turnovers.
When you scrimmage, what's the first thing you want to go back and watch film on today? What do you?
First play.
First play.
Yeah, and then I'd go to the second one.
Nothing in particular?
No, I mean, I'm going to watch it in sequence. We grade every play, try to watch offense, defense, then take notes on each one.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.